Are the synthetic ones dangerous?
Okay, so you may have another guest that will say like they're fine. I'll be honest, again, everything that I suggest or like I recommend to my clients, I want to have at least tried it. I personally haven't had any synthetic psychedelics, although there are some, there's synthetic toad, which is the bufo. I've never tried it.
Welcome to the We Got Problems podcast with co-hosts Curtis G. Martin, Rhonda L. Brown, and Khalif Johnson Sr., the one and only podcast where solutions get discussed to our community's everyday troubles. Each week, you will hear mind-blowing conversations and actionable tips and strategies that you can implement in your daily life to become more effective. We got problems and we got solutions.
Hey, you guys, welcome to the show. This is We Got Problems, where we discuss solutions. And I'm Curtis G. Martin here with my co-host, Rhonda L. Brown.
Hey, everybody.
I'm here with my second co-host, Khalif Johnson Sr.
Peace, y'all. How y'all doing?
And we have a special queen in the house today, Natalie Lewis. Natalie, why don't you tell the people a little bit about yourself and what it is that you do?
All right. Well, Curtis and everyone, thank you so much for having me on the show. It is a gift and a blessing just to carve out space to let people know about what I do. Like you said, my name is Natalie, but I go by Coeur. It means heart in French, but so either way, I'll answer to both. Um, I'm a holistic health coach and a integration coach. So I do a lot of mind, body, soul, trying to get everything in synergistic balance. Your eating, your relationships, all these things that we have to do as adults. How do you find peace and presence with all the craziness going around you, with different modalities? So that's kind of what I do. My company is called the Medicine Wheel Collective. So the medicine wheel is symbolic of the Native American tradition, honoring all the directions, all the elements. And it also means for me and my company, how do I use all these different modalities to help people find their balance in mind, body, and soul?
All right,
Yeah.
so let's jump right into this. You describe your community as BIPOC. What is BIPOC? And is that a term that people like me or that look like me should use, or instead of African American or Black, and why?
Um, I think it is, there's trends, right? Trends come and go, but Black, Indigenous, people of color is what it stands for. So it's just a different way of collectively talking about melanated people. So, and it changes all the time, right? Like, it was something, it was, Negro or it was this, but I feel like to be all inclusive and to talk about like, brown people and black, melanated people, it's just a way, it's all encompassing by brown, indigenous, people of color. Yeah. So you wouldn't be wrong if you used it.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Okay. You mentioned in the past that you help the BIPOC community create health and wellness balance. Um, what's health and wellness balance to you?
Yeah. That's a good question. So, when you go to the doctor, I feel like it's very one dimensional. You go, you got a cough, they're going to give you a medicine, and the medicine's going to create all these other side effects, right? But it's an injustice because they don't look at you as a multidimensional human. You're more than just your physical, you're your mind, your body, your soul. And we can even go deeper than that. You have other layers like your auric field that goes out, like that people don't talk about. But you know, when we talk about balance in mind, body, and soul, it's taking inventory of everything. It's taking inventory of the people that you love, the people that you have around you, the food that you're taking in, your environment. Are you getting good air? Like we're taking every little piece of that makes your existence. And is it serving you at your highest? Because if it isn't serving you at your highest, it's taking away and you're not going to feel well. So, that's how I operate is helping people to find the balance in remembering how powerful you truly are, the sovereign being that can heal, on your own. It's just like when you get a scratch and it's red and it's hot. Your body knows how to heal. It's reminding people that you are so powerful that your body knows how to heal. You know how to come back to homeostasis and balance, but we have to create it because that's not how our world is built. I think I went on a tangent. I don't know if I answered your
No,
question.
no, that was
Thank
good.
you.
That was
Good.
good.
It's perfect.
Okay. All
Okay,
right.
so next, we hear a lot about meditation. Meditate this, meditate that. What is meditation and why is it so important?
Yeah, well, there's so many different kinds, right? But for me, we take it back to just being still. Oftentimes we talk about, oh, like I want to be in a relationship, I want to hang out with my people, like I want to do this, but yet we don't know how to be in quiet time or in stillness with ourselves. So how can I be in partnership with somebody else or, be around a whole bunch of other people and I haven't even made peace with being okay with being still with myself, right? So meditation is, it's not necessarily no thought. It's actually watching the thoughts. It's being present. It's witnessing. It's almost like watching a movie without judgment, right? Because sometimes you could judge yourself for judging, right? And that's a lot. So meditation is carving out a time and space in your life, maybe like 10 minutes, 5 minutes, where you scan the body and you notice what's happening. And then you focus on your breathing. And then maybe you take a scripture or a mantra, whatever feels right for you, and you focus on that because it's not about not having thoughts. It's about being a witness to the thoughts that you're having. And I'll tell you what that does is that when you're engaging with other people, it gives you like a refractory time before you pop off on somebody, right? It gives you time to be like, okay, let me quiet my mind, let me get still before I go off on people, before I respond in a way in which I have to apologize, right? So it's just giving you time and space to hear your own thoughts and be one with yourself before you go out into the world and engage. That's kind of my definition of meditation, just for you to come home to yourself, period.
All right. So my next question is, when is the best time to meditate? And should we meditate with like binary beats versus complete silence? And what's the pros and cons of both?
Okay. Because everybody is different, I would say, you know, it's very trial and error for me. Like for years, I did the Oprah and Deepak Chopra because I needed that somebody to kind of guide and lead me. And there's nothing wrong with that. That's fine. I think in the beginning, again, like we put this pressure on ourselves and we judge ourselves because we're like, oh my God, I have all these thoughts in my head, and that's okay because in the beginning we're just witnessing, we're just watching. So in the beginning, while you're creating the practice, I think it is good to just have somebody maybe guide you through. And I think once it becomes more than a practice, it becomes habit, then you can have maybe no music or you can do binary beats are good. Like those two things, binary beats and Deepak Chopra and Oprah, that was like I did that for many years, at least a good 10 years. So the reason why I love binary beats is because it works on the electromagnetic field of your brain, right? So you have a left brain and you have a right brain, and the beats are made to program I like to call it like your subconscious programming that we all got running in the background, the things that we do habitually, like ride a bike, get to work, and you be like, I don't even know how I got here. So binary beats while you're sleeping takes you into delta, which is a different frequency of your brain while you're sleeping. And that's how you undo a lot of programming that we got running in the background that we don't even know.
Mm.
Binary codes, binary beats are amazing, and I don't suggest anything that I haven't tried, but it worked wonders. So which is better? I don't know if I would say. I think it just depends on the individual and how far along you are into your practice, but both are very essential and have worked for me.
Yeah, cool.
Okay. You had mentioned something about breathing earlier. Like, why is your breathing so important during meditation?
Yeah, mainly because in our American culture we hold our breath. And I know this for sure because if you see like a 2-year old, you see they got a little belly and they don't care. They're belly breathing, right? And then as we get older, we chest breathe. And you can see the difference. So whenever I take people through meditation, I'll have them put their hand on their belly and their heart to watch, if the belly is, expanding, because then you're getting a big diaphragmatic breath. So again, the society we live in, this podcast is called We Got Problems. One of the problems is like, we are a trauma, like we love trauma porn, like period. Like you look on the news, it's this happened, it's fear and gloom and all this. And what that does is it puts your body in this fight or flight state. So in fight or flight, you're not breathing, you're holding your breath, your all the blood is like not in your head, your mind, your brain. It's going to the extremities so you can get away. So the breath helps you to come back to this moment, this very present moment. Really, the only moment we have is right now. Yesterday's gone, tomorrow hasn't happened, but right here in this moment, we have the breath. The breath is a way to ground yourself into the moment. And then it oxygenizes, the blood, like all these things. So we need to take these deep breaths because, again, we're getting inundated with so many things that are happening in our lives. And if our breath isn't regulated, then our thoughts won't be regulated. If your breath is regulated, your thoughts, how you engage the world is going to be regulated too. So breath, it's, in the Hindu culture, it's pranayama, it's the breath, it's your life force energy. So it's everything. So that's why we focus. I do body scanning and then we go straight to the breath.
Okay. So you mentioned like breathing during meditation. Like, do you like to set a time on how long you meditate in a session? And how many sessions do you normally do throughout a normal day or throughout a normal week?
Okay. Um, so I could definitely say, um, the amount of time that I meditate has evolved with, me and my lessons and my growth. When I first started, I only maybe did once a day, and that was it was good. It was a starting point. And then maybe now, depending on what's happening, if I'm feeling stressed and I need to kind of reground, I take maybe, 2 or 3 times a day. So it just depends. And then what was your other question?
And how long should a meditation be? Like, how much time would you normally sit down through a session of meditation? Would you recommend a minute, 2 minutes, 15, half an hour, hour?
hmm So if you're brand new, have never done it before, I would say just 5 minutes before you get out of bed. Now, in that 5 minutes, because you're scanning the body, you're noticing, okay, where am I holding tension? Or I'm feeling tightness in my heart. Okay, what does this mean? I'm feeling some grief, like scanning every part of the body and then taking the deep breaths and then getting up and go. And then also, too, taking time to, even in your notes, write down the things you're grateful for. Like it's so simple. And maybe people think like, oh, it's insignificant, but it really shifts victimhood. It shifts, oh, I'm feeling bad for myself or other things. So breathing, 5 minutes in the morning, body scan, and maybe taking inventory of all the things that you're grateful for. So, 5, 10 minutes in the morning, I think is a good starting place.
All right, cool. Hey, so look, I see a lot of your social media posts, and you're always like at a beach, at a park, out by some trees, by the ocean, by a lake.
Yeah.
Why is that important to be out in nature? And you mentioned some about being grounded. So tell me a little bit about that, being grounded, and why is it important to be out in nature?
Yeah. I can definitely tell you 5 years ago, I was not feeling outside. I was like, it's hot, there's bugs, and I don't want to go. However, what I've come to find out is it's the one place where it's always in harmony and balance and rhythm. The seasons always come. Like you can guarantee the sun always rises and falls. So there's a level of, there's a rhythm. And I feel like the more you spend time out in nature, it actually helps bring you back to your balance. Again, that's the bottom line, right? Bringing people back to balance and synchronicity, or, bringing back to homeopathic beingness in themselves. So because outside is balance, it helps for you to become balanced, and it grounds you. And I think when I talk about being grounded, really, I love the senses because the senses help ground you in, like whether it's putting your hand on your heart, feeling your heartbeat, it brings you to right here, right now. Taking a deep breath in, scanning and seeing what I'm seeing in nature. Like all of those senses bring you in to this moment right here, right now. And nature is just, it's just a place where it shows you that there's abundance everywhere. Like you look at the trees, there's like a whole bunch of types of trees and genus and species, you know? So there's abundance in nature, there's balance in nature. Yeah, there's some things that can tear your ass up probably, but you know, we're going to stay clear of that, right? But for the most part, it's the place where everything is in harmonic balance, and that's the bottom line. Yeah. And it's beautiful. So,
Right. What role does yoga and exercise play when it comes to health and wellness?
as a former personal trainer, I think there was a time when my focus was more so physical, like I got to get these weights in, I got to lift, and it's great. It all serves its purpose. But again, we don't want one dimensional. We're so multidimensional. So if you're going to put effort and energy into cultivating your body, then you also have to do that with your mind and your emotional side and all these things. So physical exercise is it's important because it's giving you the oxygen, it's giving you the high, the endorphins, it's keeping the joints lubricated. So all these different things, it's like, you know, whether you're meditating or you're getting enough sleep, it all plays a role in this kind of synchronistic balance of health. So exercise is extremely important, especially with, you know, high blood pressure and mental health issues that we all have or that we see that's so prevalent. So exercise is essential.
Okay, so when you said you were a personal trainer, so you come from the health and wellness industry. So
Hmm.
how do you go with the information that you have? How do you go about picking your yoga instructors or anybody who you choose to train with?
Um, so that's a good question, and I feel like what happens is whenever I'm interviewing people, you know, you are in resonance with the people that you draw in. Um, so the people that you know you hire or you don't hire, usually there's a vibration between the two of you. So if you're feeling good, you're living good, you're you know got things you know working how you want. I feel like you draw those people in. But and when I choose somebody to work with, are they authentic? Are they in integrity with themselves? Are they in right relationship with themselves? Do they do what they say they're going to do? Do they take care of themselves? Because I know if they're putting in the effort in themselves, they're going to do that with their clients. So I feel like those things are important.
All right, so let's switch it up a little bit. You
Okay.
mentioned that you teach specific psychedelics. What is a psychedelic?
So psychedelics are plants. A lot of them are plants, not all of them. Me personally, I like to deal with a lot of the things that aren't synthesized. So we're looking at like papain, psilocybin, mushrooms, ayahuasca, bufo, the toad combo. These psychedelics to or that change the way you engage with people, places, things, and yourself.
So why should we take them? Like, what are the benefits?
Okay. So another part of what I do is so I'll be completing my master's soon as a psychedelic psychotherapist. So with the reason why I chose to go that route is because I feel like for the BIPOC community, we definitely have a lot of trauma. And, you know, for things that have happened many, many years ago, slavery, in which people are like, oh, yeah, just get over it. Like it's happened so long ago, like you're fine, right? But there's studies that show that we have the same DNA structure as the people that we came. So that means that the things that they've gone through, we have a genetic imprint still within us. So, you know, you wake up some days and you're like, I don't know why I'm feeling this heaviness. It's something, but I'm not sure. You know, there's a possibility that you're feeling things that your grandmother's grandmother went through. And there's studies of like people who are in the Great Depression, and then they have children, and they have tendencies to be more to hoard things. because they don't know the next time they're going to eat, right? So it changes your genetic makeup, which means you've been traumatically, you know, exposed, or you have PTSD in a way. So with these medicines, what they do is they change your neural pathway so that you think and you behave in different ways. A lot of times people are like, I keep doing the same thing, or I keep attracting the same man, or I keep doing doing the same things. It's because you have to rewrite the neural pathways that have been created. And that's with the binaural beats. That's with, psychedelics. There's so many different psychedelics that you can, do to help create new neural pathways, new ways of thinking, and new patterns.
Okay.
Yeah.
What's the difference between the synthetic and natural psychedelics? And are the synthetic ones dangerous?
Okay, so you may have another guest that will say like they're fine. I'll be honest, again, everything that I suggest or like I recommend to my clients, I want to have at least tried it. I personally haven't had any synthetic psychedelics, although there are some. There's synthetic toad, which is the Bufo. I've never tried it. I personally feel like whenever they extract the medicine, if they're doing it in integrity and not hurting the frog, that it's okay. And some people feel like, we're over consuming. And so that's why the synthetic has been created. I think the most important things to focus on is a few things. Well, set your setting. Like, who are you taking these medicines with? Do you feel safe? Your mindset. If you're going into it and you're anxious about it, or you haven't, cleaned or cleared your body before you take the medicine, it can impact. People are like, "Oh my God, I had a bad trip." Well, there's a preparation that happens. It's the difference between using recreationally versus using with the intention of clearing a lot of traumas and things. So, um, I would definitely say that before jumping into doing these big medicines, definitely have somebody that you trust and that's gonna, hold space for you, because you're in altered states of consciousness. So you do want to be with somebody that you trust.
Okay, so on that note, do you do any type of consultations of your own for clients, or do you have a retreat set up where people can like kind of
I
go and conjugate together with you?
Most definitely. So we do the medicines that I work with. So I do therapy and I do coaching, and then also we have gatherings. So the medicines that I work with cacao, I work with psilocybin, cannabis, and something called pape. These aren't like it's not the grandfather of grandfathers. I know you've probably seen the article of like Tyson and he's talking about bufo. That's a big, big medicine. And I feel like there's a preparation for all of them, but for those big medicines, bufo, aya, people need to be ready for that. Like I like to handhold people before we even go to that. So what I work with, cannabis and pape, cacao. They're gentle. They're known as empathic. They're empathic, so they help open up your heart space so that you feel more compassionate towards yourself, towards others, towards your experience or the things that you've gone through. So yeah, so I'm on 25 acres on a ranch in Florida, and so we do retreats here. So we will have like all women retreats, or sometimes we'll have all masculine, retreats. And usually it's like cacao and like psilocybin, so the mushroom. And even though it's the mushroom, I still like to prepare people 2 weeks of like no meat, taking a few days of no news, creating a meditation practice, getting clear on why you're doing it and what you want to get from the medicine. So it's not just we just take these medicines just to escape. It's to take these medicines and dive deep and to see like what are the things that are holding me hostage and how can I be the most expansive, empowered person in my life. So yeah, so every month we have retreats. We always have them going, and then, but like I said, I enjoy holding people's hands as we get ready to do the medicine. And you don't just come and do the medicine. Like I do an intake, we talk about it, talk about what your intentions are, and then we do it. And then We do integration. What were all the nuggets of wisdom that you got while you were with the medicine, all the things that you got? How do we integrate that into your life now? It's a process.
Oh wow, that's good. So tell me this: do you do any retreats where it's women and men?
I do, yes.
Yeah.
Actually, the last one we did, we had maybe like 12 people, and we had it was cacao and psilocybin, both men and women. Yeah.
So
And
have
there's
you ever
all
done like a couples one?
that is definitely in the works. We're definitely doing that because we want to incorporate the meditation and touch, energetic touch. Because one thing that we do know or that we're seeing is that, you know, things that happen in our life, it's not just in your head. Obviously you experience it in your mind and you also experience it in your heart and my hurt. But the part that we're not talking about is it's trapped in your body. It's in your connective tissue, it's in your muscles, it's in your fascia, and you're wondering why, like, man, I got this back pain or my arm hurts. So in the couples retreats, we teach you how to do energetic body massage to help work that stuff out. So you're getting closer to your partner and we're teaching you how to engage in your growth as well. So yeah, we're excited to be doing couples retreats as well.
All right, you touched on a lot of stuff. I appreciate it because I was going to ask you about the whole Mike Tyson thing too. So that was good. And then
Yeah.
having somebody to take care of you, right? Like that's one of the reasons I'm scared too. Because watching Mike, I'm like, whoa, shit! I know I ain't doing a handful. Mike, Mike get to, Mike get to doing a whole handful. But anyway, so we want to
Yeah,
switch it to the business side of things.
sure.
As a business owner, do you have a accountability partner, coach, or a mentor?
I do, and I also invest in myself too. I've had numerous business coaches that hold me accountable, and so the business that I do, I would say it is a little different, but not because I feel like it is very heart centered, and as a therapist, like I'm always thinking about ways of two things, like how do I serve at my highest for my population, the people that I serve, and then how do I scale what I do? Because obviously, we're in inflation times. So, I want to make sure that the abundance is coming and also that I'm serving at my highest, serving people. So yes, I invest in myself and I have a business person that keeps me, accountable.
Cool.
Yeah.
Okay. So did you start an LLC, S Corp, C Corp, and is it in a trust?
Ooh, it is an LLC, and that is a very good question, and that is very, very soon. That's important. I feel like that's definitely empowerment, having the trust. Yeah.
Okay. Being that you have a little bit unique business, it's not like a regular we gonna come in buy a hat or a shirt. Is there a
Mhm.
business plan that you set up for your business? And did you do marketing?
Yes, because
Sorry. And did you do any
it
marketing?
is yes to the business plan, and because it is service oriented and getting ready to also incorporate products as well. So that's gonna happen as well. What was the last part of the question?
Oh,
Did you?
did you do any marketing research as well?
Um, So marketing, I can definitely marketing and social media. I have no problem outsourcing because it's not my strong suit. So I have people that are helping me, especially with as we kind of build more of the Medicine Wheel Collective with the marketing. So yeah, definitely an investment of yeah creating more marketing plans.
Cool.
So
Thank you.
in your space, is there a place for young entrepreneurs? And if not, do you plan on building something or do you have anything that young entrepreneurs can get into your space and learn how to do what you do?
I think because what I do is so niche is very I don't necessarily think that there is, but I feel like because there isn't, that opens up the platform for me to create it, but I'm near West Palm Beach, and West Palm Beach is a huge hub, and Jupiter's nearby, and then Fort Lauderdale's not too far. So I know like there's a small business association that's here, and usually they're like on campuses. So there are things, but like I said, because what I am doing is kind of niche,
Mhm.
I don't know of any other people, doing it this way. Yeah. I guess I'll put that on my list of to-dos.
There we go.
So, what's your why?
That's good. Um, I feel as though it all started because I didn't feel well. I
Mm-hmm.
had a lot of depression and anxiety, and I kept giving my power away to doctors, which we all need them. And it's not a moment to like bash them because we do need doctors. But I think what happens is like we give them all the power. They say we have something, and then we take it on, and it becomes a self-fulfilling prophecy, and then that's it. Like there's no expanding past that. So they were just every 6 months, they're like, here's some new antidepressants. Let's try this. Oh, this doesn't work. Let's try this. And finally, I was just like, this isn't living. So my why was, how can I be my best version in the most healthiest state for my three daughters while they watch, you know? And then also for the people that came before me, my ancestors, my parents are from Haiti. So there was a lot of, poverty and a lot of, things that they probably didn't get to do that I get to do that they didn't get to. So my why is definitely, how can I be my best version as my daughters watch me? They're 17 and 16. So I mean, that's a big why. Me being my most healthiest version is, how I give back to my community. And it's how, yeah. So I think that's my why, being healthy and happy and
Being
whole and complete.
There we
That's
go.
dope. Okay, so do
Yeah.
you have an affiliate program where other marketers can make money with what you do by advertising for you?
No, but that's needs to be on the to-do list too. Man, to-do list is getting full.
And that's why we
Yeah,
coming up with these solutions, huh? We got problems, but we got solutions.
I
Right.
love that. I love that. Yeah, most definitely. Oh, we're here for the solution.
All right. So, were there any times where, in this journey you're on, where you wanted to give up and you decided, like, maybe this is not what I need to be doing?
Yeah, often. I'll be honest, it comes and then I have to remember like, um, so much is given, much is required. You know, people have, not made it, didn't get the opportunity. Here I am right here on your podcast. I get the opportunity and the blessing to talk about, what I do and how I help and how I can serve. And that right there in itself is the gift, right? I get to tell people like, I'm not your guru. I don't have all the answers, but I know what works for me. So let me share the knowledge and hopefully if you're open, share and give that back to people.
All right, cool.
All right. So this next section is our rapid fire section. So
Okay.
just quick little 20-second answers. First thing that comes to your head, type
All right.
thing. What is the most important thing you've learned in life?
Breathe
Oh,
before you talk. Breathe, deep breath.
I like
Yeah.
that.
Okay, if you can sit down and have a conversation with someone, dead or alive, who would it be and why?
Bob Marley, I just feel like he'd be cool to hang with. And, like he was one of the pioneers of using 532 hertz with his music and those frequencies like the binaural beats. And that right there, if you use sound as healing, and he knew and he died because of it. Him and John Lennon, I mean, those are two big pioneers in music. So and even the military knows, like they can use frequencies that'll knock you out like real quick, not even touch you. So yeah, probably Bob Marley. I think that he was using technology that was amazing even back then.
oh wow. Hey, so if you can go back in time and talk to your 18-year-old self, what's something that you would say to yourself for a bit of advice?
Trust yourself. You got this. Yeah. Sometimes we forget, like we're so equipped with what we need, but we have so much doubt. I would just tell myself, you got this. Just trust.
Okay.
I think I already know what your answer is going to be to this one, but people always say you should invest and save money, and what is something that you would invest in?
Land, land. Yeah, I just feel like it's our birthright as Black people, melanated people. I feel like we should all have pieces of land and be able to, be self-sufficient, make create our own food, our own water source, like all these things. I feel like it's not even a, like, oh, like maybe you should have it. No, it's your birthright coming back.
Okay. Okay, so what is one tool that you use in your business that makes it run smooth, so much smoother? What is it, a program? Is it an app? Is it a phone? Is it one device that you use in your business that makes it run smooth?
Hmm. I would say coming to terms with being okay with outsourcing, asking for help. So, and I did that, and I have a virtual assistant now, and it's been the best thing versus me trying to learn it and then implement it, and then issues happen. Yeah, it takes too long. So, the humbleness to say, I need help, and then to hire somebody. Yeah.
All right, if you can recommend one book, what would it be?
Oh, just one? Okay. Um, it's so basic, the four agreements.
Okay.
I love that
I
But
book.
think
it's,
we have that
yeah,
on our list too.
you
It's
do?
on the
Yeah.
sub list.
Yeah, it's so basic, but it's so profound. It's so profound. And then when you try to implement it into your life, you're like, dang, it shouldn't be this hard, but it just takes practice. Yeah, four agreements, definitely hands down.
What's your best tip for making our community a better place?
I would say learning to trust one another so that we can live in community. However, that doesn't happen until we can be at one and at peace with ourselves. So, I love the idea of community and helping one another. And like, I was a military wife for 11 years. So I lived in DC, no family, raising three little babies by myself. And I think like, man, I wish I would have had that community to help me, raise them. But what I'm seeing now as I create community now is that it doesn't work if people are stuck in their wounding, right? If you've got a mother wound, a dad wound, you got all these woundings, and then you try to come live, coexist with others, it doesn't work because that stuff comes up. So definitely doing this inner work to heal all that stuff so that we can come together and work together as a unit and a team like other cultures do, coming together and working together.
Like let me go ahead and piggyback off of that. So with that being said, how do you balance it all? Like the work life, the business life. How do you balance family and still find time for yourself?
I think our culture is so counter to that. It's so, I'm a hustle, I'm a grind, I'm a strive, I'll sleep when I'm dead. And that doesn't work. Like you're not a machine. It's telling people like you're human and you need sleep and you need rest and you need hugs and you need touch and you need food, all these things. Um, for me, it's asking for help, which is hard. Again, like as a black woman, you're like, I'm an independent black woman. Like we need to put that narrative down. It's done. It's done. I need my black counterpart, my man, and he needs me, and we work together better when we're in unison and I'm healthy and he's healthy. So that means I humble myself and I ask for help. That means I
Thank,
ask my partner, like, hey, can you help me? Like I'm struggling. Yeah.
thank you for saying that, sis. We really need to hear that. Thank you.
Yes, yes, most definitely. Like, no more with this. I'm an independent black woman. I can do it by myself. No, that's how they created it. It's time to get rid of that paradigm. It's done. But the only way we get rid of it is by individually, like, we all have to do our part. Not the person across the street, me acknowledging you, like, hey, brother, like, I need help. Can you help me? So, yeah.
And so I normally, whenever I accomplish something, I celebrate my win. I know one thing we did as a group, we started a company together. So we all are business partners. And one thing we did, we went to Las Vegas. We took a flight over the city and just enjoyed the city, enjoyed each
Right.
other.
Yeah.
And
And a hell
so
of
what do you
a
do to celebrate your wins?
Um, I think we just got back from the mountains. We went to Tennessee and Asheville and North Carolina. So, going on a trip or eating really good food, food is like a big thing for me. I love to eat good food. So, yeah, whether we carve out time to, go to the mountains like we did last week or just, have dinner, something like that. Yeah, just carving out the space to celebrate.
All right, so this is the last one. Where can people find you at?
Let's see. I am on Instagram. It's the Medicine Wheel Collective. And then I have a landing page as well. And yeah, those are the two things. They can direct message me or they can go to the landing page and sign up for a one-on-one call so that we can see if they want to just do, because it's not always medicine. Some people aren't ready for that, and that's okay. Maybe it's just holistic health coaching and getting clear on some herbs and supplements and things that you need to, kind of clear out. And so there's different options, and it's all there on my landing page and the IG page as well.
And we'll definitely put the landing page and all the places they can contact you in the show notes. So we really appreciate you coming on. This was informative. I'm ready for a retreat. I don't know about you guys. So that's why I asked us one together, because we probably will get together and come to a retreat.
Yeah, I would love that. And it's, one of the things we love is, creating beauty wherever we go, right? So whenever you come here, like we create the space, and create the intention. It's just the time to carve out of your busy life and just get recentered, get your reserve, and then go back and do it all over again. But it helps to have these moments where you carve out beauty and time and space to be still with yourself.
Hey, so Natalie, if you had one thing to leave the people with about meditating or just getting in touch with yourself, what would it be?
I feel like whenever you start to get still, it can be really scary because you get inundated with thoughts and why didn't I do this and the shoulds and all that. Just watch. No judgment, no critic. Like if you can find the compassion that you would give to your best friend and give that to yourself, because the judgment and the stories and all the things, they're going to come because that's why we distract. That's why we watch TV and watch movies, and nothing wrong with that. There's a time for that. But to give the same level of compassion to yourself that you would give to a friend when you're being still, because it's a scary place. That's why people don't like going there sometimes. So compassion for the self.
All right, cool. Rhonda, you have any final words you want to leave the people with?
Yeah. Look, well, first of all, thank you for coming. Thank you for sharing your wisdom. Just be you, like know who you are and love who you are.
Yeah.
All right, cool. So, Mr. Khalif Johnson, you know what's up. What you want to lead the people?
I really want to thank you, Queen, for just coming and providing this really, really dope interview and giving the people this type of information for what you do for our community. It's a holistic way to really go ahead and get our people back right. And that's what we need as a healthy community. And you providing that for us. So we thank you.
Hey,
Thank you so much, very much.
and I'm just going to say, you guys, if y'all need to get in touch with yourself, learn how to practice how to breathe and meditate, y'all make sure y'all get with Natalie. Go follow her. All the information will be in the show notes. Hey, you guys, I just want y'all to know we do have problems, but we also have solutions, and we out.
From the team at CRC Empire, we want to thank you for listening. To stay connected with us, like, share, and subscribe to the We Got Problems podcast. You can find us on social media platforms at Curtis Martin 247, at Rhonda Wrights Official, and at the_trash_vegan_. We got problems and we got solutions.